Hey guys, Umongus here, and I'm coming back with part 3 of the Assembly Code Simulator, a C programming project. Now, behind the scenes, I've added more operators. So now, instead of just add, there's also add immediate, and then subtract sub immediate, and then they're all. Now instead of the add function, I've changed it to arithmetic that takes multiple parameters, and then down here you get, for various different opcodes, you call the arithmetic function, but with different values. Now there's a parameter for arithmetic type and for whether it's immediate or not. Alright, so one thing you may have noticed is that there's a limit to how many instructions this program can take in. Maxed inst 100, and that's the number of instructions in iMemory. Now we're actually gonna get rid of this variable now, and rather than being an array, it's gonna have to be a pointer now. So first, we're going to turn imem into a pointer, and then we're going to need some variables to represent the size and all of that. So here, let's make the initial size 4. Now let's call it the size, and iCount is now going to be a global variable, as the size, that's going to start off at 4, but eventually it'll get bigger. So imem is now going to be declared here in main. Imem equals malloc. Okay, so this means memory allocate, and it's required for pointers. So since imem is supposed to be an array of instructions, it's going to be instruction at in the typecast malloc, and then size of instruction times the size, which at the moment is only 4. And next you go to this for loop right here. Now what this does is it initials every opcode to -1, sets every number to 0, but we're actually going to need to create a separate function for this, since we'll have to call it for every time we increase the size of the pointer, well, the size of the memory being allocated to the pointer. So Control X to cut, and then you go down here and then void, let's call it init insts. Then you put that for loop, and then int a equals iCount, which is the number of instructions there are so far, and then a less than size, and this will be after the size gets doubled, which I'll be implementing in the future. Yeah, init inst, all of that, and then we're gonna need int, well, actually we're not going to need int anymore since we're already using iCount and size, so it's just going to be called right where the loop used to be, init insts, and then you're going to also have to declare it at the top. There. Oh, actually, the variable is called the size. So yeah. Alright, so what we do next is now go into this while loop, and then before the if statement we're going to make sure there's going to be enough room, enough memory allocated. So if I count is equal to the size, well, if it's greater than or equal to the size, then I'm going to create a new function that increases the size of the array. Increase capacity. Right, and then copy it here. Alright, and then void increase capacity, which now what it does is doubles the size, so the size times equals 2, and then it's going to have to reallocate more memory but now instead of malloc you're going to have to type realloc, and size of instruction times the size, because the size is now double, and then it's going to have to initialize those new instructions to -1 and zeros. Init insts, so it calls init insts. For reallocate, you also have to add an extra parameter imem.